Episode 2. We are
Woo!
live.
We're back.
Flip it street or make it weird. And I'm not sure how we do this. Do we go right to the intro music? Should I have started with the intro music? Should I not have said anything yet?
Probably.
Should we have
Probably should have.
this?
It's all right. Yeah, there's no rules.
Well, welcome to the show. It's episode 2.
There we go.
Now, is this the music we chose? Is that what we went with?
I'm pretty sure that was the outro music that we were going to do because you could.
Don't tell me that. We already started recording.
It's all right. It's fine. It's fine. We'll do it next time.
Already.
Episode 3 will be
We're less than a minute into the show. And already you're like, that's not right. That's not what we were supposed to do. Oh, goodness.
It's fine. There's always episode 3.
Man, I am excited. I want to thank everybody for the love and support from round 1 from episode 1, which is live everywhere. And if you're hearing this, then you know that because this one's already live too.
Yeah, this
right?
one's. Yeah. And most of the feedback, we were talking the other day, most of the feedback we've gotten was, it's about time. I heard that from just about everyone. I was like, hey, we got a podcast. They're like, finally.
Yeah, exactly.
Finally.
People have been telling us that for years. They said, you need to get that new podcast going. Yep. And we said, yeah, we're going to start one. We're going to start one.
We're going to start it.
We're going to go ahead and make it happen. Probably next year.
Kids, and then another kid and then everything else. And now there's no more excuses. We're just doing it. I'm excited. It still feels surreal to actually do this. This is
the feedback I got was the one that I was most excited about, and I thought it was really funny, is my wife, Brittany. She comes, oh, hey, look, we've got our first guest on the show, ladies and gentlemen.
Look at you. Unzipped. What you?
Okay. Are we going to go right into crazy shit my kids did this week? Is this the start of that segment? Are we getting that early?
Like, hey, this morning? Never too early for a fig bar, let me tell you.
Oh, look at you. You've got where did you just pull the snack out of?
He brought it to me.
Oh, he brought it to you. I thought that
he's like, hey.
I thought you were so prepared for this to happen that you had just a bunch of snacks ready to go to bribe your kid to go away as soon as they walk.
Hi to Sean.
Hi, Jace.
Like, I don't know. Oh, you're gonna stay? You're gonna stay for a while? Okay. Where's your daddy? Where's daddy? Here, you want to take those? Okay.
He looks so confused. He's like, what is happening right now? What is
happening? Why is Sean on your screen?
Yeah, what's going on here? See, this is new to him too. It's new to us. It's new to him. What were his thoughts on last week's podcast? Did he watch or listen to any of that?
I mean, he was forced to listen to it. He didn't really care one way or the other. He's pretty easy to please.
That's, you had the opportunity to make up anything you wanted because he can't talk.
He
said he raved about, and then we could.
It was the best podcast he's ever heard.
That's what you chose.
The only one he's ever heard, and he thought it was wonderful.
Okay, perfect. See, that's perfect. Now we can actually legally we can write that and
we can market that.
Now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say that Brittany's feedback. I was really excited because Brittany, she said she came to me like 3 days after it went live, the podcast, and she said, "Hey, I listened to your whole podcast on the way to work the other day." I said, "Really?" I was like, "Really?" And she said, yeah. And it was a pause, and that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, "What?"
Yeah.
She said, "It was really good." Like that. That's the way, the tone that she said it. It was really good.
Surprised.
She was shocked that it was really good. And I said, "Why do you sound so shocked?" We've been doing radio in our morning show for years. I said, what's the big?
It's the same,
same thing. And she says, "No, but it's 30 minutes of continuous talking, and you actually somehow made it smooth and go together like you're used to taking commercial breaks and going into songs."
That's the thing. I was so nervous about doing the 30 minutes uninterrupted because we're used to doing 2.5 minute breaks at a
Yeah.
time, just, quick, get into the punch and then get out and get to commercials. And now it's like, what are we going to talk about for 30 minutes? But then it's like, wait, it's already over?
Yeah. It's like it's and I understand what she's saying, so she didn't mean it and is like a derogatory thing when she was
Yeah.
so shocked like that, but it is, it's like a
Right.
person that's used to running, 1-minute sprints, just
Yes.
immediately going out and competing in a marathon, and then
Yes.
we
Uh-huh.
won that marathon, and
That's
everybody's like,
right.
"What? What just happened
We
right now?"
won it. What just
Yeah.
happened?
Yeah,
Like the
exactly.
underdog coming up.
Yeah. Yeah, that's who we
Ah.
are right now.
Mhm. That's what I keep
Um,
saying, like, Joe Rogan needs to watch out
yeah, we're the
because we're coming
underdogs,
for
and
him,
we're
and if we
on
woulda
our way.
started when we should have started, we would already be number 1. I think so.
If we would have started when we should have started.
Yeah.
All
Story of
right.
my life.
Yeah, no kidding, no kidding. All right, we got some old business to get to. So number one was thanking everybody from last for our first
Mhm.
episode. You can now find this if you're listening on YouTube or wherever, like from like our show, our video version. But you want to get the audio version to listen in your car or anything, you can find us in more places now,
Mhm.
since last week. So Amazon, Audible, Spotify, YouTube podcasts,
Crazy.
Pandora
Crazy.
podcasts, anywhere, pretty much anywhere, the most
Mhm.
popular podcasting locations, you can now find us. So I'm happy to say that is now all up. We hope
That's
that you
so
follow
cool.
us on all those ones to get notified of our new episodes.
I'm gonna see if I could tell Google to play us, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't have
no,
my
no,
phone in here.
okay. Thanks for that was great. That
Sorry.
was
I was
what a
highly
what
unprepared for that.
what a great.
Wait, that would be a great thing to be
I
like,
am
"Hey,
so
Google."
happy you're here to add to the show. I mean,
Yeah,
that is
do what I can. I do what I can.
oh my god. This is episode 1 was so great. We started high, and
Yeah.
it's just like
See, this is
we
gonna
got
be the opposite. We
crashed in the
start
show.
we start
Got
crappy, and then it's gonna end on a really high note, I think. We're gonna
I
do the
well, there's not
opposite of
many
this one.
other ways to go at this point.
That's true.
So let's go ahead and get into the good news. Do we got let's that's what we're supposed to start with. We're already 7 minutes into this nonsense. What's the good news today? What kind of great stories to pick us up and
So,
we can
I
focus on?
love our military. I have so many yes, you do too,
Yeah,
I
he does
know.
too.
No, he's named after my granddad, Sam, who
That's
served
right.
in the US Army, and so the military always holds a really special place in my heart, and radio is helping to spread the word with it. There is a Navy veteran in Maryland named Springer Blankenship, and he signed up to volunteer for this group called I Want to Mow Your Lawn. And I think we've talked about this group before. They've been around a
Yeah.
long time.
We talked about it on the
Um,
radio. Yeah.
and it was all after he heard about it on the radio. It's this grassroots organization, and they have these volunteers that just mow lawns across the country for free. And it's, mainly helping the older adults who can't really
Mhm.
get out, especially in the heat and everything, people with disabilities, anyone in need, basically, that is unable to mow their yard. There's all these volunteers ready and willing to do it across the country. And this guy has now mowed over 100 lawns, but this I Want to Mow Your Lawn is accepting volunteers and donations because, they need, new equipment and things like that to be able to continue to provide these services for free for all of the, elderly and disabled and stuff. So they are accepting volunteers and donations too. So make sure you can check them out online with
So
I Want to Mow Your Lawn.
this guy that had served in the military, he's a military veteran, you said,
Mhm.
he's now going out and serving again and cutting other
He is.
people's lawns.
Yes.
How awesome
Yes.
is that? I mean,
It's like
that's
they
the
never
type of
stop
guy.
serving,
Yeah.
It's military people never stop serving, no matter if they're in uniform or out of uniform. Jeez Louise! What was
Is
okay,
everybody okay over there?
is
Is
that a
everything
good sign?
I don't think
That
that's a good sign for
that
the first show. I
that
think maybe
oh,
we should yeah, or the
down on
second
me?
show. Oh
Okay,
my goodness.
and it's Psalm 46:10, which is, "Be still and know that I am
Yeah.
God." I know,
All
I
right.
know,
I think we
I
got
know,
the
I'm
hint.
sorry, I didn't say anything bad.
Move out from underneath my ceiling fan
Okay,
just in case.
okay,
I don't know what's falling
alright.
next. Oh my goodness.
Woo!
This is this
I don't need any caffeine this morning. Holy moly.
Wow. See, our motto is real life. We keep it real. We're real friends, real life, and real weird. The last 30 seconds have accompanied everything
It's
that you need to
it's
know
just
about this.
encapsulated everything.
We
Everything
here we
you need to know.
are
Being
trying to do our
bombarded
best. You're trying to
by
do your best
kids,
to, yeah, to
crosses are
balance
falling on me.
being a mom and,
Whew.
having your child at work with you, which I think a lot of people can understand, especially
It's
after
so
COVID when
relatable.
everybody was working at home.
Mhm.
This was just normal, and I think
It
it's
was.
more normal now. There's probably a good portion of I don't know what he's
Yeah.
doing over here, he's just shaking things.
Taking the
Uh,
dogs.
um, but this
Doing?
was just so it's kind of more commonplace now than it was 4 years ago for a kid to just be in the background of
It is.
whatever work thing you are doing
I
and wreaking havoc.
It's so true. I had to
Yeah,
call and make a payment on a bill the other day, and I called, and it was, a lady that answered, and she's working from home, and I could kinda hear a little bit
yeah.
in the background, and she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry if you hear anything. My kid's homesick from school and everything, and I'm just, working from home." I'm like, "Girl, I got a Hot Wheels track set up in my living room, so if you hear something, it's my Evil Knievel kid that's about to just jump off of the back of the couch or something."
Just a
So, I
couple of
got
weeks ago, we were updating insurance, and I was on the phone with our insurance agent, and and the insurance agent was like, excuse me if you happen to hear some dogs in the background or something like that,
right. Yeah,
it's no big
like,
deal or
hold
whatever.
my beer.
They may like to walk. Yeah. No, but it's funny because the dogs were so loud and
Mhm.
so it's like, what do you mean if I happen to hear dogs? If I happen to hear
I know.
you during this conversation,
It would've been
I'm gonna
great.
consider myself lucky because these dogs are going nuts in the background the entire duration of the call.
Yeah.
How do you get any work done
It's
whatsoever?
so Yeah, it's like a mom thing. We're able to kind of, well, most times at least, sort
Yeah,
of just tune everything out
yeah,
and focus on what like, the whole house could be on fire, and I'd be like, "Oh,
that's
did I tell you about the good news today?"
I don't think that's healthy. I don't think
Yeah, it's probably not.
you're like
Probably
I mean, see,
probably
he's done.
"Hey,
He's bored.
are you
He
done?
says,
Going
this
back
is
to
it.
watch Bluey?" I don't blame you.
Yeah, 12 minutes is enough.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like,
That's
this is longer than a Bluey
yeah,
episode. I'm outta here."
this is great. You guys have not become a human piano yet.
Not
Uh,
yet, no.
which on the radio show earlier, we had on one of our radio shows, we had a caller that shared with us that he's tired of being compared basically by his kid
Mhm.
to the Bluey family, whatever
Yeah.
the Healer family, I guess it is. Yeah, the
Yeah, the
Healers.
healer.
He says, I'm tired of being compared to that. He goes, because my kids now think that I have to be a human piano for hours on end
Right.
and entertain them the entire day.
But
But
it's
you said it's
not.
not, it's 7 minutes of
It's
their
not
day.
hours on
Yeah,
end,
yeah,
and it's everybody's got something it's like a love-hate relationship with Bluey, and it's
yeah.
like, you don't have to be super mom and super dad 24 hours a day. Like, you are the most important thing to your kid right now. You're basically the center of their world until they grow up and get, friends and their own lives
Oh,
and stuff like
don't
that,
start.
and
It's gonna make me
I
sad.
know, I know, I know, but I'm saying you have 7 minutes to be a human piano or something, no matter
Yeah,
what you're doing, and that's honestly, Bluey, watching that dang show has helped me be like, "Okay, yeah, I actually do have 5 minutes to go be a rag doll with Addie,"
yeah.
or something like that. It's like, "Yeah, I do. The clothes can wait, the dishes can wait," and that's something that's really hard for me as someone that is very, OCD and I like to have a clean house and stuff like that, but it's like, this is their childhood. They're not gonna remember how clean the house was and if the dishes were done every day and if the clothes were put away. They're so used to grabbing stuff out of the pile in the closet that it's like, "Hey, I don't have my skirt." "Okay, did you check the closet?" Like, that's
Yeah,
the next place to go. But we're also, you have to get your priorities in order, and that's something it's a work in progress. It's, every day, even after over a decade of doing this, it's like, "Okay, get up, go out there and, play with them. The clothes can wait, the dishes can wait, the, clean house can wait until they're moved out because Lord
mhm.
knows it's not gonna be clean
Oh, I know.
anytime soon."
I've been over to your
Bluey
house and you live by that. You live
True,
by
it's
the yeah, well,
true.
this
I
you have
live by that. I do. I'm like,
yeah,
it's 3 kids,
it's always a
just
disaster.
you have to throw your
No.
hands up sometimes
No,
and be like,
I'm
"This is
kidding.
it."
What's amazing is that no, and you don't give yourself enough credit though, because you still have a pretty balanced home. I feel like I've never gone into your house and said, "Oh my gosh, you
Yeah,
let the
I know.
kids run rampant in here." There's markers on the wall. There's trash
Usually
everywhere. You do a pretty good job of balancing that. There
well,
and it is, and I do think there is a balance. There is a balance. Like you
there is a
said,
balance. Yeah.
you need to not worry so much about some toys being on the floor, and you need to not worry about
Yes.
this. You know, what I mean, that
Right.
is just a part of life. Worry more about the moment you get to spend and enjoy that. But also, it shouldn't become unlivable.
Yes, and I would say, let
there's a
them be
balance.
kids, let them do stuff, but also invite people over every once in a while, because
Yeah,
when you
of
do,
course, it's you to clean up.
you do like that kind of frantic, rushing 15 minutes. I can get
It
this house
does. It
clean in
does.
15 minutes. I mean,
Yeah.
spotless,
Yeah.
and
It's
it's like,
amazing what
so
you can do when someone
invite
says, "Hey, I'm
people
on my
yeah,
way over." You're
invite
like,
some people over.
"Oh, okay."
Yep.
Gonna
Yeah,
stuff some stuff into my, hall closet.
yep, under the bed, wherever it
Yeah,
goes.
yeah.
Yeah.
You have a drunk junk drawer. Hey, before we get too far away, I see Flippin' Streeter's good news still at the bottom of the screen.
Uh-huh.
What was the website for that? We have, what was the website for that
Oh,
mowing
so
helpers before we get too far away from that?
yep, it's
Because we had a
I want
crossfall. For those just joining us, we had a crossfall in the middle
yeah.
our good news segment, which
I
I don't know
really
if that's a
don't know.
good sign or
Okay,
not.
I did miss going to church last week, but I hope like,
All your fault.
I'm definitely going Sunday.
Yeah, you better now.
Definitely going Sunday.
Yeah.
It's iwanttomowyourlawn.com
I want to mow your
is the website.
lawn.com.
We can put it down in the description,
Okay.
um, little link below and everything, but, it's such a cool thing. I mean, it's all over the country, just these random strangers wanting to help other people. It's, it's always we talk about it all the time. There's always um, so many bad things. You turn on the news and it's like, "Oh, woe is me," but then it's just because that stuff tends to be a little louder sometimes, and if
Yeah.
there's always, always good in the world, and I still believe that, the number of good people outweigh the number of bad people, and I think we
Yeah.
see, with the
Oh,
"tell me something"
100%.
good stuff, we see that. It's real people all over the country, all over the world, and that's, like, one of my favorite sayings is, "If you can't find one, be one. Be a
Be
good
one.
person."
Heck yeah. That's what it's
Mhm.
all about. Just like that gentleman we were talking about earlier. I mean, what an awesome thing that he's,
Yeah,
it's not only served our country, but then came home and is just serving
right.
strangers to
Continuing.
on.
Yep.
I love that.
Mhm.
Hey, real quick, going back to something that we talked about last week, talking about heroes and people that are serving us. We were talking about firefighters last week and
Oh,
first
yeah.
responders
Mhm.
that are running through, running towards something,
Yes.
running towards a fire
Fire.
or
Yeah.
a disaster of some sort. And you said, it's so great because they get to feel like superheroes and just
I
feel
think a
that
lot
like,
of I don't know, I tend to feel like a lot of them like that.
okay, hold on. Well, let me get to that. My argument was, I think that they're pissed off. I think
Prob
that they're
yeah,
so upset
to an
that someone has
extent.
put them in that situation.
Right.
And yeah, you're like, to an extent. And I just want to say I've heard from some firefighters and first responders
Uh-huh.
that follow us on the show. They've reached out to us. A couple of them
Yeah.
wanted to be anonymous because they're like, we don't need
Right.
you to know
Yeah.
what we feel,
Yeah.
what is going through our minds. We don't need
To the
you to second
taxpayer, we don't
guess.
need you
Yeah,
actually.
second guess what's happening here. But it seems pretty split, and they do say it really depends on the situation. They're like, yeah. First of all, they're like, if there's a fire and someone or a dire emergency where they
Yeah.
got to get in, get someone out, you don't have time to
Right.
think about
No.
superhero, pissed off,
Mhm.
anything. You
Yeah,
just
who
have
cares
time to
if the
say
cat did it or not?
yes. They don't care.
Get in there and get them. Yeah.
Exactly. That's number one. And
Mhm.
every single one of them agreed with that. They're like, you just go into work mode.
Yeah.
You have to
Yeah.
shut things off and you just have
Gotta
to do your job.
Yep.
They say, and that's their number one thing. But they do say, like, then there's part of them after. So if it's truly a hero like situation, like
Uh-huh.
afterwards, they're like, sometimes they're like, yeah, you know what?
Yeah, that felt good.
This is
Like,
pretty
yeah, the
cool. I just
adrenaline
saved this
pumping and
person.
everything. Yeah. It's a good feeling.
If it ends that way, they're like, yes, this was great. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
But
then sometimes they find out why this all happened. And they're like, I
yeah.
cannot believe you just put
Really?
me and my
Really?
family in jeopardy and my friends in jeopardy, my coworkers in jeopardy for this,
Yeah, 'cause of something
this.
you saw on TikTok?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I cannot believe this. So we're both right, and I want to thank all the
Uh-huh.
firefighters seriously and the first responders that reached out to us and shared their thoughts on this. But I think overwhelmingly they the biggest thing they agree on is that when it comes time to do it, you just
Yeah.
do it. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter how
Well,
you
it's
feel
like
about the situation. You go and you do it. You
we've
just make it
seen
happen.
other tell me something good stories, where they have, like, body cam footage from police officers and stuff, and it's just like they go into I mean, it's serious. It's like they just
Yeah,
turn it on. It's like that switch that flips, and
yeah,
it's, "I don't care about me, I care about saving this person." We talked about, a few days ago, this cop that, jumped into the river to save
yeah.
this woman that was submerged in her vehicle, and
Mm,
he just
just
got
went
in.
right
He
in.
went down, busted the window open, and got her out to safety, and it's just they have it takes such a special kind of person to be able to be like to be so selfless, and, that goes for first responders, military, I mean, everybody that puts their lives on the line every single day, and it's just that switch that flips, and they're like, "I don't care about me." Basically, I'm
Yeah.
gonna do what I have to do to save these people. They're in danger.
Uh, unbelievable. It's
Mhm.
awesome, and we've spoke about it before. I hope that if I'm in that situation that I can react that way. The closest I came this week is there was a turtle crossing the road, and
Oh,
I did get out of my car. I stopped, and I
did
made sure that
you?
that turtle got to the other side of the road, and I was
Oh,
very
good,
happy with myself about
good,
that. I felt like see that was like,
good.
yeah, I was not
That's
pissed at
like
the turtle
yeah.
for putting
Right,
me in that situation. I felt
right,
like a hero.
yeah.
So that's the only thing that I can,
The little things,
yeah,
right.
that's my only
Turtle in
way
a
of.
burning building,
I
kinda
know that
yeah.
I'm not
It's tough.
comparing. I'm not saying
Yeah,
that I'm anywhere
I
close to
know,
the heroes
I know.
that get those things. I'm just saying
Yeah.
that's my own version, the closest that I can come to right now
Right.
of being in a situation like that
Yeah.
was at that
Now if you
turtle.
were in St. Louis and you got out of your car to help a turtle, that might be a little more of a different story because that would be a
St.
little more
Louis is not all that bad. There are certain areas of crime, yes, but it's not that bad. It's not that bad. You need to come.
certain
You've never been to St. Louis, have you?
I haven't.
See?
It's never
See?
been one of those it's kinda like
I'm
West
gonna
Virginia. Never been
It's
one of
never
those
been one of those. Oh
on my
my
list
gosh. It's
to
one of the best cities in the world for
really,
families. Yeah, that, like
it
being
never
shot
makes
at.
the list.
It's
Makes
that's the
that
little asterisk at the bottom.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
it's one of the best cities in the world. We're free zoo that's incredible.
Mhm.
We've got, the Science Center, which is free, which is incredible. The history
Right.
museums, which are free, which are incredible.
Be free. You can't make people pay to come out and risk their lives to go see
Yes.
some artifacts.
Yeah, well, other cities do it. There are other cities that do that. Not there are other cities in this country that are also
Right.
dangerous, that have
Yeah,
dangerous parts that charge people for things.
that's true.
St. Louis is one of the few that does not. I mean, and these are state of the art. These are incredible places.
Yeah.
Also, we have Forest Park, which is amazing,
Have
amazing
what?
park.
Forest Park?
Forest Park, huge, beautiful park.
Forest
That's where the
Park.
zoo is. That's where the Science Center is.
That's
Where the History
original.
Museum is. Are we done? Okay, I'm ready to move on. This is
Forest Park.
Look, you are talking. I think it's a perfect
Next
time.
to Tree
Perfect
City.
time. per- a perfect time. A perfect segue into That's So Florida, the segment that was created about your home state and
Hey,
all the
hey,
stupidity
I
and
will
dumb
have you know,
criminals that
y
originate in Florida.
you're talking about the places for families to live.
Yeah.
Tampa, Florida just came out as number 1 on the top of that list.
Oh.
Thank you very
Oh, really?
much.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Tampa
Uh-huh.
isn't really. I guess Tampa is Florida. I
Tampa's
guess.
Tampa's
Yeah.
good. Tampa's
Yeah.
a good
Yeah.
place.
Yeah, that's
I've
true.
got
But we
family
don't
that
'cause I
lives
was gonna say we don't hear a lot of That's So Florida stories originating out of Tampa.
no, they're on the outskirts. There's St.
Yeah,
Pete. We've had some in Largo where I have some family.
yeah,
But, Tampa itself is pretty good.
yeah.
Mhm.
I got a That's So Florida story that did not originate in Florida, but it just reminded me of that. Since you started off breaking the rules last week,
Yeah.
by coming to
Rules.
a
We can't break them when there's
well,
no
that's
none
so
to it.
so that's so Florida originates just stories of dumb criminals that originated in Florida.
Right.
But then now it's like it's the spirit of a
It is.
Floridian. So if you have a story that
Mhm.
happened anywhere in the world that's like, oh my gosh, that reminds me of
They
somebody from
see.
Florida. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm. They
So that's
could. They could be from Florida and it just happened in another state. That could,
that's true.
you know,
That's true. Like this
whatever.
burglar.
There's no
This
rules.
isn't even. This was a burglar in Rome.
Mhm.
Rome, and on Tuesday night he was arrested, not because he set off an alarm or caused a
Mhm.
ruckus during his break-in. No, this burglar, he could have gotten away clean as a whistle, if
Okay. No.
if
What happened?
he hadn't stopped in the middle of the burglary to read a book about Greek mythology. He
A
became distracted after seeing the book on the bedside table of the home that he was burglarizing, and he just decided to open a page. You know, have you ever done that at a bookstore? When you
Oh, yeah.
open that first
Yeah,
page
at a
and you're like,
bookstore. Yeah.
well, this is it. He was at his, I mean, this is his own version of a bookstore. He's in there
Uh-huh.
burglarizing the place. It's basically like a
Yeah.
store to him, right? She's in there picking out. He's like, anything I want in this house. So he sees the book and he opens up his first page. He's like, oh,
Oh.
and then you
Uh-huh.
turn the page, and then before you know it, hours have gone by, and you're 3 or 4 chapters into the book,
Uh-huh.
and the person from the bookstore is saying, it's closing time. We got to go.
Right.
You need to get out of here, or you need to buy this book. Well, that was kind of what happened, except the homeowner woke up because his hours have passed, and he found the
Huh?
robber still sitting on the bed reading this book.
Was still
Still
reading the
sitting on the
book?
book, still sitting on the bed reading the book. The owner's like,
God.
what? And called the cops and was arrested.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't even know where to start with that. It's like, uh,
I think it's pretty relatable. Honestly, a similar thing happened to me one
really?
time. Yeah, except instead of a book, it was a tray of cookies.
Oh,
And instead
yeah,
of
that's
robbery, it was murder.
distracting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
wait, murder? What?
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding.
What
It
did
was
you
not
say?
murder. It's not murder. I murdered that tray of cookies. I can tell you that.
Like,
Wait, do you have anything for That So Florida this week? Do you have anything you wanted to share?
this man in Iowa, I really
Wait,
wanna talk about.
no, wait a second. You talked about a man in Iowa last week.
No, there's another one. There's another
What?
one. I don't know what is happening in Iowa
You're
right now.
kidding me.
I don't know
I
what.
thought that you made a mistake and you brought the same story 2 weeks
No,
in a row.
no, this is very
Okay.
much not.
All right.
So, this guy in Bondurant, Iowa, is accused of attacking a man with a makeshift bayonet.
Okay.
So, he had staked out this place where his victim lived, and he attacked the man with a BB gun with,
Oh,
like, a makeshift bayonet on the front of it, and
okay.
was going after the guy. The guy was hospitalized, put in the hospital with some serious injuries, and the guy was like, "Yeah, I was just trying to create one of the battles from, one of the old wars."
What?
That was his
It's
excuse.
nuts.
He wanted to feel what it would have been like to be a soldier in the Civil War.
You know, they have reenactments for those.
They
They
do.
do
Yeah,
that at like
probably
in
maybe go to Gettysburg.
Gettysburg. Yeah, they do those reenactments all the
Yeah,
time. Is what he probably
right.
should have done.
That's
But
probably
he's like, I don't
that
have
would have
time to
been
wait for that. I
the
don't have.
legal option,
Yeah.
but, sometimes when you're impatient, you have
That's
to
why
go
That's
with
So
the
Florida
illegal option.
exists, because it's people that do not go the legal option. Um, all right, we've got to move right along here to shits our crazy shit our kids did this week. Do you have anything
Mhm.
that your kids did besides? Well, yeah,
I
you know
mean,
what? We started the show with that for you.
that was my, portion of
Yeah,
the thing,
interrupted the second podcast that we've ever put together
Yeah.
and knocked a cross
Like,
off the
"I
wall
don't have time for you to do this.
during our busiest
I
segment.
need some fig bars right now. Can't wait."
Um, I want to talk about this. This is something we brought on on our radio show. We talked about it a few weeks ago. Um, what is it with other parents and comparing um, your kids sometimes?
Mhm.
So what happened was a few weeks ago. This was, I guess, yeah, it is a few weeks ago. We had Luna out on her tricycle pedaling around the
Yeah.
neighborhood.
Oh, yeah, the neighbor guy.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
this neighbor,
Yeah.
I'd never met him before. I've seen him in the neighborhood riding with his kid, about Luna's age, riding his tricycle, And so we're riding and he comes up and he's like, "How old is your daughter?" And we're like, at this
Mhm.
time, she's 2 or whatever. And I was like, "Yeah, she's 2." And he says, "Oh, well, that's an easy tricycle to pedal." I was like, "Wait, what? That's your first response?
Okay.
It's an easy tricycle to pedal?" And so we're like, "Okay, that's great. How old is your little boy?" He's like, "Well, he's 3. And this is a very difficult tricycle. Let's trade tricycles."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Well, wait, what? Why?" And what is happening right now? We're like, "Okay, fine, sure. If your kid wants to try out our tricycle, sure, no
Yeah.
problem." And so his kid gets on her tricycle and tries to pedal, but is struggling.
Yeah.
He's struggling a little bit with the tricycle. No big
Right.
deal. Okay.
No
No
big
big,
deal.
everybody has different things at different ages.
Mhm. Mhm.
And he gets like real upset, and he basically just he's like, I don't, whatever. And he's like, and he just kind of he gets his kid and leaves. He was just upset that his
Like,
kid was not
couldn't
tricycling
do it.
as much. And it was just a strange situation that we didn't
Like,
ask for, that no
no.
one was saying, "Oh my gosh, why isn't your kid
Right.
know how to
No
pedal a
one was
tricycle?"
making fun of it,
Yeah.
it's like
It was
he
a
just
really odd situation. And I don't know if you've ever been in a situation like that before. But I was really proud of Luna for just like when the guy came, when the, guy and the kid was like, "Can we trade tricycles?" She's like, "Yeah, it's
yeah.
really
Right.
okay. That's fine. No big deal."
Mhm.
And like, even she just wanted to play with the kid. That's all.
Yeah.
She just
Who
wanted to go and have
cares?
some fun. She didn't care about the tricycle
Yeah.
situation.
I
It
don't.
was
I mean,
really
pa
strange.
parents like that just drive me nuts. It's like, as I'm had my minor in education, and that's one of the things that they teach you is, hey, every kid learns at their own pace. Every kid has different there's stuff that that kid can do that Luna can't.
Yeah, exactly.
Every kid has their own special set of skills, and it's not the parent's job to force a set of skills upon their kid if they don't want to do it.
Yeah, except the dishes.
Oh! Yeah, the dishes every time,
The
every time,
dishes, that's a skill
every time.
y'all gonna get. You're gonna learn how to do the
Gonna learn it.
dishes. Yeah, because no one likes doing the dishes, I don't
No
think.
one likes it,
Actually, I
no.
take that back. My dad, if he's listening or watching, which he usually does, he loves doing the dishes. And if you
Does
go to
he
his house,
really?
yeah, if you go to his house, I think so.
You think
If you
so?
go to his house and you stay for a little while and you try and do the dishes, you're like, "No, no, 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 no. I wanna do the
Really?
dishes," because he likes to do the dishes his way, and he has a specific way of arranging the dishes.
Yeah, see,
But he says it's like
I know.
therapeutic a little bit, which I could kinda get that.
I mean, there's
Mhm,
of
mhm.
better options for therapeutic things than dishes, but, to each their own, I
Yeah.
guess. It's not
Um,
my
yeah, I don't know about that. I don't love the dishes either.
no.
I wanna talk
Not at
about
all.
this before we run out of time, because I know we're getting to the end of our imaginary, time limit here. We're getting close to this. This is the time limit we have put on
Right.
ourselves
We put it on ourselves.
in the beginning
It's
to just
like,
try and do this. But I saw this. This probably should have gone into That's So Florida, because this is the only crazy thing that actually had happened out of Florida. Did you see there is a hearing impaired doctor
uh-huh,
in Florida has been placed on probation? This is a true story.
okay.
After This is what Florida health
Bunch
officials say this doctor began performing a colonoscopy
mhm.
without his hearing aids and did not know the patient was not fully sedated.
No.
So the patient's
No.
going, "Hey, hey,
No.
hey,
No.
doc, I can feel this. I'm not sedated." And the doctor can't hear this without the hearing aids. This is what I'm
Mm.
gathering from this report. It's something like this is going on. And now this doctor is under investigation.
Were there not, like, other I just had a procedure done a few days ago, and there's, like it's not just the doctor in there. There's nurses, there's the anesthesiologist, there's, all these people inside that room. You're telling me that
None of it.
nobody
Well,
knew
that's a
this
good
guy
point.
was
That's a
asleep?
good point. That's one of my worst fears of going into somewhere for surgery, because I have heard this before where
Mhm.
people say that
Yeah.
they were aware of what was going on,
Uh-huh.
even though they
They,
were
like,
supposedly
wake up.
sedated. Yeah, or they
Mhm.
wake up exactly. You wake up and, something's cut open or it's missing, or it's like those brain surgeries
Oh
where
my
you have to
god.
be awake. Have you seen
Yes.
those? Have you heard
And you,
about
like,
that?
play the guitar and
Yeah, you
stuff
have to
while
play the
yeah,
play the
yeah.
violin while or do or read a book or sing
Mm-mm.
a song, so that way parts of your brain are firing
Yeah.
at the right time so they know which things to cut and which not to. Like, I don't want that to be the reason though. I don't
No.
it scares me that
No.
we're at this stage in the game, that's what we rely on.
That's
Like, what if my brain isn't wired the same? And because I know it's not. It's not wired this I am a bizarre individual. Like I we
same.
are just talking about this. I play tennis right-handed, but I eat left-handed.
Mhm.
But I'm
Mhm.
not truly ambidextrous.
Right.
Like I can't write right-handed.
You can't write with your right hand? See, I can't. I can
No.
write with my left hand. I do
Yeah, I
some
can,
things with my left hand.
but I eat with my left hand and I write with my left hand and I bat with my left hand, but I play tennis with
You
my
really?
right hand and I my
Oh.
right hand is kind of my stronger hand. It's just
Uh-huh.
bizarre. So what is my brain doing when they're like, "Hey, just sing a song"? It's probably not
Right.
the normal thing that everybody else's brain does. So if I have to have brain surgery and they think that that's gonna fire the if I'm singing a song, that's gonna fire the proper things, it's
Yeah.
probably not. That's
It's
what scares me to
probably
death. That's one
probably
of the things
not.
that scares me to
I
death.
I feel
Yeah.
like ours are so backwards compared to most people
Yeah.
maybe that, if the wires are crossed somewhere, and I don't know where they are. But I'm thinking, the only worry that I have was he actually going in for a colonoscopy? 'Cause I worried about that because I had an
I know, I
endoscopy
did.
done,
Yeah.
and that would be a horrible surprise if all of a sudden I'm expecting it to go one way and it
No.
goes
Oh,
and I'm
no.
awake for it.
Yeah, and the doctor doesn't have their hearing aids in,
Yeah.
so
Buddy, buddy,
wait a
other
second.
end, like,
No, no.
oh,
Oh gosh. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the rest of the story here, but when I saw
ooh,
that headline, I'm thinking, "Oh my
yeah,
gosh, that has to be one of the worst
that's
things." And that is one of my
terrible.
worst fears.
Yeah, me
Because you
too.
hear about that too, that people have gone in, they truly will write on if you're like you're supposed to have an arm
That's it
amputated or something.
with
They'll
my
write on it like, "Okay, this is the arm."
yes, my knee surgery, I've had 2 knee surgeries, in the last 10 years or so from playing softball for so long,
Mm,
and they would go in, pre-surgery, and they would come over and they would circle my knee with a
yeah.
marker and put, this leg or whatever it was. I'm like, "Well, that gives me a lot of confidence."
I know, I know.
I
Yeah.
feel
Grill
like
here.
that
Yeah,
should be the last resort there, but
yeah.
that's I mean, I
No,
guess it happens more often than you
it's
think.
interesting, like, when you get to thinking about the medical, the advancements that we've made in medicine and
Right.
procedures over the last,
For us to still do
50
Sharpian.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah,
Well, because your mind is blown in some aspects of it. You're like, "I
right,
cannot
like
believe."
robot surgery and everything,
Yeah.
and we're still not sure which leg to do the robot surgery on.
Yes, exactly, exactly. It all
We
comes
got a
still
robot
down
to do it,
to this
but we
human
still have to make
error.
sure we do it right.
Yeah, like, is the robot laughing at us like, "I know which knee." Like, it's easy to
Probably.
input, and here you are still having to
Yeah.
circle it.
Yep.
I don't know, it's but it is a bizarre thing when you think about all the advancements that we've made that we're still at that
It's crazy
point
that we're still
for
mhm.
surgeries. Yeah, um, but anyway, I'm curious
Well,
to see how this plays out. I think there's gonna be more to that story because, like you said,
oh, I'm
there's usually a whole crew
There's gotta
of
be.
people
It's
that
like the anesthesiologist is supposed to be in there with you the whole time to make
yeah,
sure you're breathing okay, and the nurses are
yeah.
there to help the doctor and everything. I'm not something's not adding up there.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that seems strange because
Mhm.
and also if you're not fully sedated, I mean, you're not, like, strapped down for the colonoscopy, are you? Like, I haven't had mine
No,
yet. I'm getting
no, they
close
just
to
have
my
you
first
roll
one here.
roll on your side
Yeah,
and
so you should be able to be
yeah,
like even if he can't hear you, wouldn't you think he'd be like, "Doc?
right. Like, "Hey,
Yeah,
hello,
doc, hello?
hello, I'm
Over
here, I'm
here?
awake."
Yeah, this end. Hello?
Yeah.
Look at this
Oh,
end real quick, I'm
but
over here."
the I don't know though with the anesthesia, like if you know,
Maybe you
depending on
can't
the
fully do that.
level of it, like if you can't move your arms, I
See, we
don't
have so
know.
many
That's
we
a
now have
terrible
more
situation.
questions where
And no answers.
now we need to get a anesthesiologist on the show.
Now we need
Or
to call that doc oh, no, we can't call that doctor.
oh yeah, no, that wouldn't be good. They probably can't talk about it anyway right now. It's probably an open
Probably not.
lawsuit. I don't think they can. All right. Well, I think is this it? Have we reached our endpoint? Have we covered
Are we
everything
done?
that you wanted to cover this morning?
We didn't get to talk about your tooth.
My tooth.
I wanted to talk about your tooth.
Why do you want to talk about my tooth? My tooth is fine. Oh wait, is
Yours
this about the text you sent me
Yes.
a week ago? Yeah, what is that is so speaking of weird,
So
I'm minding my own business
yeah.
and I get a text from Flip and it's a picture of was it somebody else's face? Whose face was it?
Jordan Davis, the country singer, Jordan Davis.
Yeah, Jordan Davis. I got
Yeah.
a picture so I got one of these watches and it comes up and all I see is a picture of Jordan Davis's face on my watch. All right. And I'm like, what is this? Why? In my first instinct, honestly, and I'm sorry, Jordan, if I'm sure he's probably watching, listening. My
Probably,
first instinct was,
obviously.
oh my God, did Jordan Davis die? Because that's like usually,
No.
I know, but whenever you get a
The
random,
board? No.
but when you ever get you know what I mean? Like, does anybody else have that reaction when you all of a
No,
sudden you
I
see a
know.
picture of a celebrity that comes up
Right.
on your screen? The first thing is, oh my God, they died. Like that's, I'm
Yeah.
sure the first time people got an alert about Flippin' Streeter after so many, because
Probably.
we had not
Yeah.
been posting on socials that often. They were like, oh, they both died. That
Yeah,
was probably the
they're
first thing
gone.
that
Gone.
they're gone for sure. No, but that was my first reaction. I get this little picture of Jordan Davis. And then afterwards, there was a text message. And I honestly thought that you sent this to the wrong person because I was like, what the hell is this even about? You said, look, he has a tooth like yours. Isn't that what you said?
Yeah, I did.
And I still didn't even know what you meant. I was like, I don't think she's talking to me. I think she's texting
What's
somebody
happening?
wrong. I don't know. So what did you mean? So you did mean to text me.
I
And
did.
later
It was
you
on purpose.
explained what? What did you
It
explain?
was on purpose. So I am one of like the most attentive people. Like I notice a lot of things that other people don't notice, I guess is what you would say. I don't know what you call that. But I've always noticed sitting across from you for so many years and us, being friends and hanging out and everything, I've noticed that one of your front teeth is longer than the other, just a little bit longer than the other.
All
And
right,
I
hold on.
saw a
Hold on one
picture
second.
of Jordan Davis
For those
the other day.
those watching on the thing, I'm gonna put my.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think.
But can you see?
Which one? I
See?
can't.
Look, the one on the right, looking at you, it's the one on the right. So it's your left one. See how it goes down a little bit further than the other one?
Maybe
See? It's a
slightly.
little
Okay. All right.
bit longer. It's a
Maybe
little bit
slightly.
longer than the other one. And so I saw a picture of Jordan Davis and I'm like, oh, he has a long tooth too.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, that to me, that's not that common, I guess. And so I'm like, hey, look, it's your tooth twin.
I think it's so common. Everybody has it on even. There's like, it's very rare that everybody's teeth are exactly. No one ran a freaking level
Exactly.
over everybody's teeth. They're all born. I mean, that is the most absurd thing. And why you would even like, even if you thought that, why would you say that to somebody? Why would you?
Because I have a problem with controlling my intrusive thoughts. Okay, we know this. We know this. I have a problem with it.
Yeah.
And I thought it was like, oh, hey, he's got the same thing that you do.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a bad thing. I just thought it was funny.
Yeah. Text somebody. I'm gonna text Brittany now, like, see if I can find a celebrity. Like, oh yeah, did you see that lady's got an uneven breasts as well? That's the same thing, right? Because aren't women? Isn't that the same thing?
I mean, probably, yeah.
See,
well, that's true
exactly.
because one is bigger than the other.
Yeah, exactly. Well, one of my front teeth is bigger than the other, and I think everybody else, same thing.
It's usually your dominant side, like it's usually the dominant side that's bigger than the other one. You have one good one and one.
Okay, put your.
No, I'm not doing that on the podcast.
No, your teeth is what I'm saying.
Oh.
God, I should have led with that. I was talking about your teeth. Wait, yours are even. Wait a second. That's not
Yeah.
fair. So
Yeah.
that's why you're surprised about this, because you're the
They
you're the
are.
rarity. It's not
Not
me.
the
It's not
rarity?
Jordan Davis. It's you. You have completely level teeth, and you're probably the only. They're completely flat. Did you file them?
See, but no, but
They're
then
dentist. They're dentist
right
made, aren't
here,
they?
this tooth no, I never had braces or anything. I always wanted
Really?
braces. Always wanted braces my whole life because all of my friends had them, and I was always one of those that wanted to do what everybody else was doing. But this tooth right here, the front one
Yeah.
actually sticks out a little further. It's like got squished when my wisdom teeth came in, I guess, or something.
You can't see
And
it,
so
but they're still even
it
at the bottom,
sticks.
though.
Yeah, they're still even at the bottom, but this one does stick out just a little bit over the
Well,
tooth.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you have that problem. I'm sorry that you are one of the rare
I'm
people that
sorry
has
that I'm
completely straight
perfect.
teeth.
I
And
just
no, it's not perfect. I mean, that's probably why you struggle with, with eating meat and stuff, because, um, the
does.
uneven teeth is no, I'm serious.
You
Uneven
think so?
teeth helps you tear into that piece of steak and tear into the chicken and stuff. I think it's
Does
the
it?
uneven teeth. I don't
Does
know.
it?
I think it is. I mean, you look at a
Like
saw. You look at a saw, okay?
yeah.
And a saw that's really good at cutting things has
Uh-huh.
all the jagged, uneven
They're
teeth.
jagged, that's true,
Yeah. I'm gonna
but they're
try
all
try
they're
saw
even
try
jagged.
sawing well, I guess that's a good point.
They're even. They're still even.
It's time for the end of the show.
Woo!
All right. It's been something.
Oh. Looking a little long in the tooth over there, buddy.
You couldn't wait to say that, could you?
I couldn't.
You're
I've
hanging
been
on to
waiting
that this whole
to say
time.
that.
You've been hanging on for so long. Next week we got a better show for you, I promise you.
Yes,
We're really excited
promise.
about it. We got a very special surprise guest that's going to join us on the show next week.
Not
I'm talking about
Jace.
not Jace. That was
Maybe Jace.
he's the most special surprise guest that joined us this morning. An incredibly special surprise guest that's going to join us on the show next week. I really, really pumped about it. This is a famous person.
Mm-hmm. More famous than us.
More famous than us. Yeah.
Depending on who you ask, I guess.
I guess that's true.
Yeah. We're pretty great.
Outside of our family, definitely more famous than us. So make sure you like and follow us, subscribe anywhere you listen to your podcast. We'd love for you to weigh in, share with us what you think about our show so far. We take all of the feedback, good and the bad, and we will take it into consideration. We want you to be honest with us because we are real. This is our real life. We are real friends. I think we did a pretty good job of keeping it weird. Don't you think?
I think we did. Yeah. I mean,
so.
Long teeth always make everything weird.
You do. That is true. And crosses falling off the wall. We'll see you back here next week. Bye.